Good morning, my Teaserking family. How's everybody? Well, we got gold, 4,000, silver over 50. What a happy day. 50.22 on silver, wherever the hell it is. And gold, 39.78. It was 4,000. It's doing the 10 o'clock drop, but here it comes back. So it'll be 4,000 soon. 50.22 and silver. Silver was interesting. It had gotten to 51 again. See again, silver 51 at 6 o'clock, and then it goes down like over $1 to 49, maybe 50, and back up, and then back down. And it's like, so what is going on at 51? Why are they doing derivatives at 51? Like that's a poison number. I don't know, but it's over. So right now, 50.23 and gold, you can see it was 4,005. I don't know why, what's going on there. 39.70. It'll be back over 4,000. So don't worry. So good. We're moving good. Now listening to Mark McGwire, Alligator's on as the guest. Getting tired of Alligator. He's on all these shows and you watch him and he says the same thing. But they're saying there's an overbought position, meaning it's in a bubble, it's too high, it's too much buying, and it really can't justify the price. And he's laughing as I'm laughing, going, this is bullshit. How could gold be overpriced or overbought? It's not even close to where it should be. It's 10,000 times under where it should be, right? It should be 30, 40,000. And they're trying to say, well, 4,000's because it went up so much. They're trying to say, wait, it's too high. And they just don't understand it. It's not overbought. It can't be overbought. People need to get out of the dollars and into gold. Then he starts laughing at this guy who took profit. And all I can say is, what do I tell you guys? You do not profit take gold and silver, because the whole rule of this game is to get out of this. And you buy gold and silver. That's the rule. That's the game. So if gold goes up from 2,000 to 4,000, why would you sell it to get back into this? This is what you're trying to get out of. So you don't profit take gold to get into it. The idiot that did that, I think he did it at 3,000 and now it's at 4,000. Clearly doesn't know what he's doing. Clearly thinks gold's a stock. It's not. It's money. It's like a mantle card. Mantle card goes up $50,000. It's not overbought, and you're not going to profit take it, because then you got to get back into dollars. Just a second, I get my pizza. So anyway, this is not a game you profit take. You profit take stocks because they're bullshit. You cannot and do not profit take gold and silver. You bought your silver at $20 an ounce, and now it's 50. You've doubled. Do you sell it? Never. And I'm going to be blunt, only an idiot would sell their gold or silver now. It is not overbought. It is going 10 times higher than it is now. And the problem is you got to get back into dollars if you do that. Why do you don't want to do that? You don't want to get back into dollars, right? That's not good. So the game is getting out of dollars, and the lifeboats are gold and silver. So you're getting out of the lifeboat and going back into the Titanic to sink. Doesn't sound really intelligent. Sounds like a financial planner telling you what to do. And they even mentioned that on Mark McGwire. You can tell they listen to the show, my show. They use the same examples. The guy, the financial advisor does not get commission on gold and silver. He's going to put you in stocks. So, I mean, that's what I've been saying for years. You cannot listen to your financial planner. You have to listen to somebody like me who can explain it to you in English. who you go, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I'm going to do. So anyway, that's where we're at with it. Happy Friday, everybody. Silver's running 50-41. Go silver, go. And gold's coming back 39.85. Okay. So let's look at NFL yesterday. The Giants win 34-17. Jalen Hurts, if anybody says he's elite, needs their head examined. I think their defensive coordinator, Philly, needs to be fired again. All you do is blitz Jackson Dart. He can't run if you blitz him, and he can't pass. So I don't get it why you rush your 3 or 4 guys and then play a soft zone and either throws a 10-yard pass to a guy who's wide open, so anybody can do that, or he's running. These running quarterbacks, you must blitz them. It's not that hard, fellas. And yet they continue to play the soft zone because he's going to run. And they keep losing to an inferior quarterback and an inferior team, except for Scatterboo. 3 touchdowns. That's what I know from him. So, anyway, we'll have to give a new free pick. Now, the silver lining is you got Philly off of 2 losses in a row. So they should play a good game the next game. I'm tired of these Thursday night games. They're all fixed. It's ridiculous. How did the Giants lose to New Orleans at New Orleans and then beat Philadelphia? Sorry. The refs the refs are terrible. It's not, is it interference or is it not, or is it holding or not? It's when they call it. You're calling it in the end zone with 5 seconds left in the half or near the end of the game. It's bullshit. You don't bail them out. You do not never bail a team out on 4th and 20 with pass interference. Those refs should be fired. I don't care if it is or it isn't. You can't bail out the team. It's up to the receiver to fight through it. Period. Hey, David, Eagles are not very good, are they? Well, yeah, we agree those games are fixed. It's Thursday night. Don't really get, what the fuck. Philadelphia just doesn't care. Super Bowl hangover, really? You just lost to Denver. Okay, that's a good team. You lost to the Giants? Now, again, this is that Thursday night crap. They're probably a little hurt after Sunday, the Denver game. Probably a little emotional. You lost the game, and then here 2 days later, you got to get up for a division opponent, the Giants, who suck, but and it's also they can market Jackson Dart. Oh, look, he's a superstar. Guy sucks. Scatterboo's the superstar, but Dart's not. Dart's terrible. He's in the C.J. Stroud league and the Drake May league. Don't try to bullshit us with these running quarterbacks, Drake May, Stroud, and Dart, that they're good and here's where the league's going and that and that. No, at the end of the day, it's Mahomes who wins. It's Burrow. It's Josh Allen. It's guys that can throw the ball. At the end of the day, they're the winners, not your running quarterbacks like these idiots. But you just question the defensive coordinators, got their heads so far up their ass, they don't know what they're doing. They shouldn't be out there. They really need to go work at the grocery store. So anyway, we just did that. So I had 27-13 Philly. That was the free play. They let Dart look like a superstar. 34-17 the Giants. How do you only score 17 on the Giants? All right. So if we go down I'm not going to look at the lines. We've got Denver 7 and 43.5 in London on Sunday morning. Like nobody's going to watch that game on the NFL Network. What are they kidding? Was there 5 people who pay for the NFL Network? I mean, at the most. The Rams, Baltimore, we have to see. There's a lot of injuries to Baltimore. The safety, the linebacker, a defensive end, and Lamar. So we got to see who's playing and who isn't. So we really don't know how to do this until Saturday. And if they're all out, we take the Rams. And if they're all playing, we probably play a total. Jacksonville, 1.5, 47 to Seattle. Seattle's a very live dog in this game. We'll have to see. Dallas, Carolina. The only way you can play Dallas is over. They have no defense. They're 31 defense, and Carolina is a 24. Let's go with this as the free game. So the free play is the over in the game. Dallas over with Carolina. Now, mostly it's because Dallas has found an offense with the new coach, but they still don't have a defense. So Carolina, even with Steve Young, is still going to put up some points. I got 37-17, so 54. We need 49. We need 43. So we should be able, 24-20 is a winner. Dallas is going to play high-scoring games because they have no defense, and they have to. And even though they don't have CeeDee Lamb, who I think is getting close to coming back. I think next week. All right. Pitt 5, 38.5 to Cleveland. Dylan Gabriel against Rodgers. Gabriel's okay. He's good. He's an Oregon guy. They're still pushing for Prime Junior. It's like, let it go already. The guy stinks. He's the 5th string quarterback. He shouldn't even be in the league. Gabriel looks pretty good. You want him. I apologize for eating breakfast now, but I don't eat early. And I just got done walking, and I got to go get Alyssa, so it's a busy day. David, you think more games are fixed now more than ever with all these gambling sites? Absolutely. Maybe you had a couple games fixed, but now the refs are clearly on the payroll of FanDuel and BetMGM because they throw the stupidest penalties that aren't even penalties. Then they start throwing 10, 15 penalties. San Diego against the Giants, it was like 16 penalties on San Diego. What the fuck is that? And then the Giants win. And so it's clearly fixed. And it's by the refs mostly. And the refs control the game with their penalties. So absolutely, there's more and more games fixed. You try to figure out which one it is. Yesterday, the Giants, and you can see it. It's just the penalties, and it's terrible. And you cannot associate gambling with the games. And by doing so, you are creating this, are the games, just to ask the question, are the games fixed, is a problem. And then we can see it. So we can see they're fixed. We can see the refs making terrible pass interference calls. And then we hear the announcers, Troy Aikman and all these other idiots. Oh, yeah, that was pass interference. They played. They would never say it was pass interference. So by them saying it, they're trying to justify that the refs made a good call, not that the game is fixed when they know the game is fixed. It's just terrible right now. They might get lucky, these running quarterbacks, with a few wins, but they are not winning any Super Bowl. They're not winning any playoff games. Look at C.J. Stroud in the playoffs. Look at Lamar in the playoffs. These are the defensive coordinators are idiots, right? The Lions showed you how to beat Lamar. You rush 5, you cover the gaps, and then you have spies behind them, and you basically say, Lamar, try to beat us throwing, which you can't do. Well, they should be doing that for all day. Jackson Dart should have the same 5 guys blitzing him. Fucking Eagles, they're blitzing. Where are they? Now, so you got to understand the blitzing teams, the Lions, Kansas City, maybe San Diego. Denver blitzes a lot. I have a stat on sacks. So if we look at the team that has the most sacks is who you bet when they face the running quarterback, because that's how they're getting a lot of sacks. Flacco went to Cincy now. Yeah, I know. He's on Cincy, which should help Cincy a little bit, but Browning was getting the handle on it when he played the other day. So Flacco, does he know how to throw the ball to Chase? Because Chase is like, just throw him the ball. He's open even if he's triple covered. So we will see. Anyway, New England, 3.5, 45 to New Orleans. I don't see how New England can be a road favorite. San Diego, 4.5, 44 to Miami. Miami, 29 defense. They don't score. Tyreek Hill's out. I don't know what that is. So Miami's terrible. Tagg's terrible. The coach sucks. But San Diego has to travel. I was telling my buddy yesterday, there's the Rams going to Baltimore. There's Seattle going to Jacksonville. There's San Diego going to Miami. And San Francisco goes to Tampa. What the fuck? You got 4 West Coast teams going to the East Coast. What the fuck's going on here? Like, it's not hard enough to bet. Now you're making it twice as hard because you got to be careful because the West Coast teams are playing at 10 in the morning, which is hard enough. Anytime you get out of routine, it's very difficult. So you got these. Now the Frisco Tampa is different because it's a 4:00 game. All these games should be 4:00. If the West Coast team has to travel to the East. All right. Indy, 6.5, 47 to Arizona. Indy looks like an 18 defense. How do you trust Daniel Jones? I don't know. Arizona, an under team. Kyler Murray's terrible. In a 19 defense. So is their defense that good? Indy's playing very well. Can we trust Indy? I don't know. Are you ready to start betting Indy even? Daniel Jones, I don't know. And then really not the one game they played against a good team, the Rams, they lost. They were in it, and the Rams needed to pull it out, which they did, but they lost that game. And the way the schedule is, since they're a terrible team, they've got this powder puff schedule. So they're playing a bunch of bad teams. Pardon me. So I am on antibiotics. I saw the doctor the other day. This is day 3. Jen is going, it should only take 3 days. I'm going, well, I got 7 days worth. And I'm not really feeling any better, but we'll see. Actually, it got worse. It wasn't this bad. Now it's in my nose, draining into my mouth. It wasn't doing that before. It's probably a nasal infection. Anyway, so can we trust Indy? Well, I don't know. Who have they played? Who have they beaten? Tennessee goes to Oakland. Oakland stinks. Geno Smith's terrible. You've got Tennessee, who's terrible with Ward. They're the Z team. Oakland will give them credit because they got Max Crosby and Gentry and Brock Bowers, who's got a bad ankle. He's been hurt. Can we trust Oakland? Well, this line went from 5 to 3.5. I think the only way to play the game's under. I got Oakland winning 20-6. Where are you getting offense? Cam Ward stinks. They apparently have a decent defense. They have a 28. Well, no, they don't. 28 defense. But Oakland's got a 28 defense, and Oakland's offense can't take advantage of it. 49ers go to Tampa. Tampa's the best team. They're an over team, but they're pretty much an A team. 26 defense, but they played a lot of good teams. The Niners with the 20 defense. The Niners somehow beat the Rams last week. Now they got to travel all the way to Tampa, which is a very long flight because you got to go east and then you got to go south. Although really they can probably just do a diagonal. Tampa 3, they're very strong in a teaser, 21-2. The teaser games: Denver 21-2, Indy play against Cincinnati 19-3, Tampa Bay 21-2, Green Bay very strong at home as a home favorite, and Washington 22-3 with Jalen Daniels, all with Jalen Daniels. So when in doubt, go to the teaser trend. I think Tampa wins the game. I just think they're better. I don't, who am I going to get? Purdy or Mac Jones? They both stink. Baker is much better. We'll see. I just can't see the Niners going to Tampa and winning. Cincinnati, Green Bay, you got Browning or you got Flacco or you got Prime Jr. Why didn't they trade Prime Jr. there? That would have been better instead of Flacco. Oh, Cincinnati didn't want him. Oh, okay. I mean, Green Bay is 14-44. How do you lay 14 in the NFL? This isn't college. They're not trying to run up the score. They're trying to win the game. If they're up 3, they're happy. Cincinnati, you still have Chase. You still have T. Higgins. You still have Hutchinson. You still have players on the team. Green Bay, I don't trust Love. I don't trust the coach. He's got his head up his ass. We do trust Micah Parsons. Overall, I think it's too many. I think Cincy and 20. If it's Flacco or Brownie, I'm happy with. Green Bay's not that good. With Dallas, yeah, that put me on Green Bay, right? You give a 40 to Dallas, and you're going to lay 14 with the team that gave up 40 to Dallas. Okay, sure. Detroit, KC. Detroit an A team, 22 defense. KC a B team, 21 defense. Total 51.5. KC 2.5. Golf against Mahomes. Mahomes is much better. This should be high scoring. I mean, it should be. Although the Detroit Green Bay game should have been high scoring and it wasn't. Detroit couldn't move on Green Bay with Micah Parsons, who just got there 5 minutes before the game. KC will blitz you. Detroit should be able to score. They run it down your throat, basically. They're a running team, and then they do play action off the run with golf. I mean, that's basically it. KC seems to be getting their act together. They're panicking a little. They're not in first. San Diego's in first place. So this should be a good game. They were a home dog for 5 minutes. Sunday night, Detroit was 1.5. Monday, it went back where KC was 1.5, and then it went to 2.5. So we almost had KC as a home dog again. Is Detroit a good road dog? I don't know. Do you go over with the game? Probably. It should go over. Detroit's got no defense, and they got 3 more guys in the secondary hurt. They're all talking about this Arnold guy. He leads the league in pass interference and defensive holding. You're probably better without him. Buffalo, Atlanta. Buffalo 4.5, 50. You got to like Atlanta here, the way these teams are playing. Atlanta with Penix probably goes a high-scoring game with Penix. Buffalo's got no defense. They got a 23 defense. Atlanta 22. Should be right around the 50 or so. In the last game, the Bears against Washington. Caleb against Daniels. It's not even close. Washington minus 449, and they're 22-3 with Caleb. With Daniels. So if you do nothing now, I know McLaurin's probably out, but who cares? You don't need McLaurin, and you need Daniels. They beat San Diego without McLaurin last week. Or fine. They're going to run the ball down the Bears' throat. So, yeah, Flacco's in Cincinnati. He's played for Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. He needs to go to Pittsburgh now. All right. So in the pros, your free pick now is Dallas over. Even if it's fixed, that's why sometimes I think the total is the way to go. Even if it's fixed, it's still okay because they're fixing the game, not the points. So the points, I think, are the way to go. Let's look at college football. Well. Let's see. LTAC played Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State wins 35-7. This is why I don't like. LTAC was the better team, but it's Thursday night. That's why I stayed away from it. Tulane 26-19. I did like East Carr and the points. I didn't play it. Jacksonville State 29-27. I did like Jacksonville State because Sam Houston's a Z team. And they were laying 8, so it was a push. And then Southern Miss 38-35. I did like Southern Miss, the Marshall of Mississippi. Both teams were over, so we got our first overplay. Over was 60. They score a 73 here. That's why we trend the teams. Looking at it, you wouldn't have any idea. But seeing that both are over and both are pretty weak defensively, you should get high scoring. You got 73. The total was 60. That should have been played. Okay, but I don't like Thursdays. And that's it. O against Z, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston. You would have bet Jacksonville State and got a push. They're 8 down to 2. Maybe you found a 1.5. So that's yesterday's. Vitamin C. Okay. I don't drink orange juice. I did take lemons. I drink lemons every morning with olive oil. So I've had that. I get a lot of vitamin D because I go outside and I sit in the sun for 10 minutes when I go to the club and get vitamin D. Vitamin D is very good because you're low on that. Yeah, just one of these things. I'm pretty healthy. Okay. All right. Let's look at today's games. We got South Florida. We got North Texas now 1.5 and 66. down from 67. They're both A teams. I don't think they're going to get 66. I think it's too high. But I think South Florida has shown you they beat Boise and they beat Florida at the Swamp. South Florida is probably a live dog here if I want to bet Friday games. That's the problem. They're all off schedule. So you've got your teams off schedule. They're used to playing every Saturday. It's like us going to work. We go to work Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We relax. We play golf, bet the football games, go to dinner. It breaks up the routine. But if all of a sudden we have to work on a Saturday, not a chance. I hate working on Saturdays, except for football, which is to me not work. Washington 10.5, 60.5. To Rutgers. Rutgers an over team with the 25. Washington an A team with the 20. I would say this is probably an over. I don't know if I trust Washington to kill Rutgers because Rutgers seems to have some offense this year. Being an over, their defense is not as good. But Rutgers going to Washington on a Friday night at 9. This game's going past midnight. Rutgers is going to get tired. Washington did go to Maryland and win. And they have played Ohio State, which helps them because, after playing Ohio State, Rutgers is like, oh, this is easy. They're not that good. But I do like Washington to win the game. The 10 down to 4 could be tricky. And the over seems like it should go over because Rutgers should be able to get in the 20s. Washington into the upper 30s would be my guess. And our last game is Fresno State, Colorado State. Fresno State 6.5, 47.5. Fresno State's a B team, 20 defense. Colorado State a W with the 27. Probably a Fresno State here. They're in the same this is Mountain West, so it's a conference game. Colorado State just isn't good. They're a W. I think Fresno State gets it again. Your Friday. I think the best bet up there is the Washington Rutgers over, just because of it's two good offenses with good quarterbacks and average defenses. All right, that's tonight's games. Tomorrow we're just going to look at the big ones. UCLA, Michigan State. That's not a big game. It got a lot bigger after last week. It caught my eye, putting up 42 on Penn State, which you just don't do by UCLA and the volleyball player. So weird taste to that drink. Probably the ginger's getting old. I got to replace the ginger. I get the big glove of ginger and I just cut it and shave it and then I have it because ginger is very important. So doing what UCLA did last week, putting up 42 on a good Penn State, it's like putting 42 up on Ohio State. It just doesn't happen. And so I believe they have an offense. And here you got Michigan State, 8.5, 54.5. And I'm just going, yeah, I don't see that. Okay, you got travel. It's a noon game for UCLA, so it's 9 in the morning. But I think you can go total because it's, even though they might sleep through Michigan State, let them score, and then UCLA should be able to score. Michigan State's got a 30 defense, and UCLA's a 32. UCLA found an offense. Michigan State has a pretty decent offense. Michigan State's an over team, but UCLA's not a W anymore. It's an over team if you look at what happened last week with Penn State. And now that they have the offense going and the new offensive coordinator, why would it stop? Michigan State doesn't have Bubba Smith isn't there anymore. So I think we're catching this very early, like we caught Cam Rising, like we caught Tyler Van Dyke. Miami, they started scoring 45 a game, and the totals would still be 40 because of De'Ara King. So Vegas will not catch this. Vegas, as you can see, you really have two over teams, and it's a 55. Oh, thank you, God. What are you kidding me? This should be easily 65 because you have UCLA is not a 20 anymore. I mean, okay, you can take one game, but basically they're a 40 now. They're offensively. They scored 40 on Penn State is not an accident. They can do it. And when they had to, they scored. So I don't see Michigan State stopping them at all. Okay, it's 9 a.m. for them. Yes, it's going to take a while, but I think they're excited. They didn't win a game until last week, so they're not going to be flat. Oh, we won a game, let's not play. They're going to be excited to get out there. And when teams get on these runs, they really go. So look for UCLA to score a lot. I don't care if they win or lose, but Michigan State scores a lot, and they don't really have a defense. This game should be a 75-point game, and we're looking at 49. Thank you, God. Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State 14.5, 50. Illinois, pretty good defense. It's a 24, but it's skewed by the Indiana 70 points. You take that out of it, and they're probably about a 15 defense. Ohio State will score on them. But Ohio State with the 5 defense, and they played Texas and they played Washington. And last week they played Minnesota, and nobody can score on them. So you hold Washington to 6 at Washington, you look out. So I just don't think anybody's scoring on Ohio State. I just, not that Mac Patricia all of a sudden knows how to be a defensive coordinator, but I think that's the key in the game is Ohio State's defense. You're just not scoring on them. All right. Alabama, Missouri, 351.5. Alabama 16 defense, Missouri 14. They did hold Georgia to 21. Tennessee gave up 44 to Georgia. Not that Georgia's great, but they held what I like is they held Agio to 14 points. They won 30-14. Fortunately, we're getting 16.5, and actually they went up, and it was 18.5. But Daggio got 14, and he fumbled near the goal line, right? So you would have got 21. But to hold Daggio to 21, you've got a defense. They've got their loss, so they have to win. And they're playing well, and we love DeBoer. So I think this line's ridiculous. Looking at Missouri, okay, they beat Kansas really 35-31. Okay, good win. Kansas, good team. And then they beat South Carolina 29-20. South Carolina's not that strong. They only got 29 on them. And South Carolina put up 20. So you've got Kansas putting up 31, and you got South Carolina putting up 20. I'm not buying your defense, and I'm not buying your offense. Okay, 35 on Kansas, and then the 29 there. But this is Alabama. Alabama's going to run all over you. This is a 3-point spread, and I get 3 in a teaser with Alabama. Again, another strong play. Now, I did not lock this game, but Alabama +3 against Missouri. Missouri's not been there. Alabama's there every week. They played Georgia. They played Vandy. These are tough. Oh, well, they'll be flat. No, they're not going to be flat. Well, they're looking ahead to Tennessee. No, they're not. They've lost to Florida State. They're on a roll. They're not looking ahead. They're not going, oh, we're playing Missouri. We won't try. And we got Tennessee next week. No. They take care of business. I mean, I don't understand these handicappers who sit there and think, well, they're looking ahead. They're looking behind. They just played a good team. Oh, look at in 2 weeks they play, Ohio State or whatever. You have no idea if they're looking ahead. Now the game's over. You can say Philly was looking ahead. They played the Giants. Or I heard, well, the Giants were looking ahead against New Orleans for the Philadelphia game. What a bunch of horse shit. The Giants weren't looking ahead to Philly. I mean, the Giants stink. How could they be looking ahead? So New Orleans probably blitzed them, which is what you should have done to Dart. Philly just isn't caring. They won the Super Bowl, and they're just not playing. And it's as simple as that. They have a few of my Georgia guys are injured or they let them go, and they're not the same team. That's why you don't pay Jalen Hurts $30 million or $40 million. You can't afford to let the Georgia defensive guys go. That's the key to your team, not Jalen Hurts. You can sit Jalen Hurts out, you still win. You can't let the Georgia guys go on defense. That's how you beat Kansas City. And Jalen Carter's got a hurt heel, so maybe it showed up. But this is the point. You can't pay these quarterbacks all this money and let the defensive guys go and then expect to win. So I think that's part of Philadelphia's problem. But Jalen Hurts is the big problem. He sucks. UCF Cincinnati 10.5, 54.5. Cincinnati's playing very well. Sorsby, the quarterback, looks good. They just beat Kansas and they beat Iowa State. 2 good wins. They're at home. UCF is not very good, not a very good quarterback, and the coach sucks. He wanted to make Joe Burrow a safety. Enough said about Scott Frost, the idiot. So I just think Cincinnati will take care of business at home. They're playing really well, and they're pretty explosive. Pitt, Florida State. You've got Florida State off of 2 losses now. Florida State 10, 57.5. So they lost to Virginia, good quarterback, and then they lost to Miami, good quarterback, and you get Pitt. Oh, by the way, good quarterback. So Florida State's in a must-win off of the 2 losses. They did beat Alabama somehow. I don't know how because they are not that good. So you got them off of 2 losses, so they'll be trying. I think you go over on the game because Pitt scores a lot. They're both A teams with 20 defenses, but Eli Holwitz, they put up a lot of points. Florida State puts up a lot of points. I thought about Florida State -4 off of the 2 losses, but Pitt scores too much, and you're not guaranteed they're going to win. They're not playing a weak team. You want them to be playing a weak team, then you jump on Florida State after 2 losses. But you're playing a pretty explosive Pitt team who's pretty good. So I took over instead. Let's see. Notre Dame, 23.5, 58.5, up from 22. I think Jesus put a bet down for Notre Dame. He's going to be the new BetMGM guy. NC State an over team, 25 defense. Notre Dame pretty much an over team. They've been scoring a lot, and their defense sucks. They had a good game last week because Boise threw 4 interceptions. Pardon me. The total on the game, 23-58.5. This went down from 61, which is surprising. This should be a high-scoring game, not a low-scoring game. Texas, Oklahoma, your free play. Oklahoma now -1. I would assume Mateer's playing, and the total is up to 44.5. Maybe it'll get up to the 56.5 that I took. Your free play is under in this game. I don't care if Mateer is playing. He's got a broken hand. What's he going to do? And Texas with the great defense. So does Oklahoma. This should be a very low scoring game, so go under in it. Your free play. Indiana goes to Oregon. This is a very interesting game. Oregon 7.5 and 55, down to 54. I don't know why. Indiana, very solid team, both 18s, 10-12 defense. Look for this. Oregon will score at home. They know how to run the plays, as will Indiana. I'm not buying Oregon's 12 defense. They played Penn State 17 all, basically. So that was a 34. And then Indiana, you can't look at the Iowa game. Iowa doesn't have any offense. We look at the Illinois game. They played them. They just pounded them with 70 points. So what Illinois is going to do? And Illinois' secondary got hurt in the game. 7 guys in the secondary were hurt. Like all 4 safeties and 3 cornerbacks, all were hurt for Illinois in the Indiana game. Well, you're not going to get that with Oregon. I don't know. I still see points. I just think these teams, when I think of Oregon, I think of them scoring a lot. When I think of Indiana, certainly they score a lot. I think Indiana's a live dog getting 13.5 here, but you do get, you got to be careful at Oregon. This is a 3:30 game, so that helps Indiana. So it's really 3:30 for them. It's actually noon for Oregon, so it actually helps Indiana here. This should be a tough game. I think you tease the dog here. This is a tease the dog game, and this is, I think, an over game. I'm not sure why it's going under, but I think it's over. I just think these teams can score, and once Oregon gets rolling, Indiana gets rolling. I can't see this game being under 28-24 is a 52, which is good for the over there. So I like the game over. You're not going to 10-7 these teams. It's not going to be 17 all like the Penn State game. All right, let's go. And I'm just looking at the bigger games. Penn State 21.5, 47.5. You just got to love Penn State here. See, you've got to counter think. Oh, well, look at, they lost to UCLA. They lost to Oregon. Well, they lost to Oregon 17 all. UCLA ran a whole new offense with a whole new offensive coordinator in his first game. So that would have caught him by surprise. But now you got Penn State off of 2 losses. And this is where they're going to be on fire this week. And then they get Northwestern, who is a under team with the 17 defense. So this is like the perfect game here. Penn State off of 2 losses, playing a weak Northwestern team. They're going to be on fire. They're going to win by 50. Go Penn State, beat Navy. I mean, this is really what you're looking for. A good team who has just lost 2 games in a row. Who else does this remind me of? Florida State. Oh, yeah, and the Philadelphia Eagles now. And you just watch these teams. I mean, they lose a game, okay. Normally they win the next week, but here you've got them where they've lost 2 at home. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them, as Herman Munster would say. TCU, Kansas State. TCU 1.5, 55.5. TCU, Kansas State's not all that good this year. They're 27 defense. They got Avery Johnson. He's okay quarterback. They've lost some games. TCU just comes at you. You know they got a great offense. They got a great quarterback and a great coach. And you're only laying 1.5, which I think's low. Go TCU. Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech 14.5, 54.5. You just got to like Haynes King. Virginia Tech's not that good this year. This line should be 20, 14.5. We kick it down to 8. Go Georgia Tech. Navy Temple. This should be a surprise game. Navy 10 and 52. Navy an A team, Temple an over team. They got the new coach from Sam Houston, who's pretty good. Quarterback's pretty good, Simon. 25 defense, but they score a lot. Look for this to be high scoring. Arkansas, Tennessee, for sure, this will be high scoring. Tennessee 12 and a half, 68 and a half. I got a feeling Tennessee's going to blow them out, and I got a feeling this will be in the 80s. Tennessee at home, boom, 35 in the first half. Arkansas can score, but I don't think they're going to hang. They're going to be able to match them. So if it's 35, it ain't going to be 35 ball, maybe 35-20. Then we get to the second half. So I think Tennessee puts up a 50 here, and Arkansas will be somewhere in the 20s or 30s. They just don't have the defense. Both teams over teams with 30 defenses. Florida goes to A&M. I got to wrap this up really quick. A&M 7.5, 47.5. Florida, an under team, got their win. Legua stinks, the quarterback. Oh, he's a running quarterback. That's why he stinks. A&M pretty good. We like their quarterback. 7.5. Florida, A&M should win. 47.5. Florida plays a lot of under games. They got a pretty good defense, and their offense isn't very good. So I think A&M wins a low-scoring game. Iowa, Wisconsin. The total speaks for itself, 36.5. I don't know. Wisconsin looked pretty good against Michigan defensively. No offense. Neither does Iowa. Again, we're looking at Iowa with the low 30 totals. Kansas, Texas Tech. I love Kansas, but I can't love them here. Texas Tech 14, 59.5. Texas Tech is playing so well. I mean, they killed Utah, my Utah team. That's crazy. They're at home. Kansas will find a way to score. Jalen Daniels, the other, is very good. He wasn't very good before, but now he's learned how to throw. And now he's throwing for 400 yards a game and a lot of touchdowns. So look for Kansas to stay within 20, but I don't know that they can win it. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they win it because they're that type of team. But Texas Tech looks just great. 11 defense. I don't know. Michigan SC 2.5, 56.5. Michigan opened at 1.5. I bet USC at that point getting 7.5. Now it's 2.5 for USC and the 57. I think this goes over because USC's an over team. They score. Michigan's not going to be able to stop them from scoring. They're just too. Mayavi is too good of a quarterback. So I see USC getting the points. Michigan will run the ball down their throat. It seems to be the only thing they can do. Their defense is okay, but not against the passing team. So I think USC wins this game by about 10. Georgia, Auburn. Georgia 3.5, 46.5. Auburn's a pretty good defensive team, a 16 defense against an 18 defense. Neither of them really have good quarterbacks, good offenses. I think we back to the Georgia under. And South Carolina, LSU, we're definitely at that under. LSU 9.5, 44.5. South Carolina doesn't score an 18 defense. Like I said, they played 29, and LSU and under, they played that Florida game. They barely scored. Their quarterback's terrible, but their defense is good. So look for a low-scoring game there. BYU goes to Arizona. This is a tough game. I like BYU. They're 1.5, 47.5. It's a tough one. Both defenses are killer. Probably an under here also. 47 at 53. You're not getting those many points against this defense. BYU with a very tight defense. The only reason it went over last week was because it was on a Friday, and there was BYU fumbled twice in their own 5-yard line for touchdowns, and Arizona threw interceptions. That BYU scored touchdowns, so you had a lot of touchdowns because of these turnovers. It was a turnover over game. Hey, Titus. Good morning. The free pick I told you is Oklahoma, Texas under. Don't you listen to the game? So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not hard. Just listen to the games. So I think this game goes under BYU, Arizona. And Arizona State, Utah. This one's got me. Wow, Utah went up to 8.5 from 5.5. I wonder if Levitt, the quarterback's out. Total 45.5. So the total went down. So I bet the Arizona State quarterback's out because you see the line go up 3, the total go down. If he's out, then we're going to take Arizona. We're going to take Utah if he's out. And our last tidbit is Utah State 1.5, 57.5 to Hawaii. Utah State, very good team, very strong offense. Not the greatest defense, but I don't think Hawaii can do much. So your midnight play is Utah State there. And I got to go because I got to go pick up Alyssa in 15 minutes. Again, let's check our gold out. So your free play is the Dallas over on Sunday with the Oklahoma, Texas under Saturday. I got 4 locks going on. If I can make it. 4 locks going Saturday. Saturday should be huge. I mean, I've been like fighting college the last couple of weeks. I did pretty good last week. This week is dynamite. This week I've got 8 to 10 big games. I could lock all of them. I mean, they're just, now that I've got the teams, I can figure out what to do with them. And that's where we're at with it. So, you want to make money, buy my college this week. The pros are tough because they're so bad and the coaches are so stupid. But we have about, I don't have a lock in the pros. I have about six games I can play. And I don't want to force a lock. I might lock one game, but basically, it's just terrible. The games I like are West Coast going to eat, like the Rams. Well, we're going to Baltimore. San Diego is going to Miami, and Seattle is going to Jacksonville. So the games I might lock, I can't because I got to worry about the time change. And as fucked up as this league is with all the fixing going on, you got to be very careful. San Diego went to the Giants and got beat. So all these surprise, all of a sudden the Giants are a good team. No, they're not. So it does make it difficult. Titus, Vegas was on last night's game. What does that mean? They were on the Giants? Well, yeah, you don't have, that's pretty obvious. They just fix the refs. That's what they do. All right, so that's it. Again, gold is not overpriced. It's going up because of the demand for gold, because the dollar is worthless. All this paper shit's worthless. Oh, hello. We're back over 4,000. We got 4,009. See, notice what happens just before 10 o'clock. It dropped. So I knew after 10 it was going to go up because you could see just before 10 it went from 39.90 to 39.75. And then right after, boom, and watch it go to 4,050 again. And we got a nice 50.29. It's been going up to 51. It hit there the last few days, and then it immediately drops like $1 to 50. Such bullshit, right? Nobody is selling it. You do not profit take gold and silver. If I hear that, I'm going to kick you out of class. You do not profit take gold and silver because that means you're selling it and you have to get back into this. And if you're doing that, The whole point is to get out of this, because this is the Titanic that's sinking. The boat's sinking. Why would you get into the lifeboat, get out of the lifeboat, and go back onto the boat that's sinking? This is sinking. This is sunk. This is sunk. You don't want to get back. You get out. You trade Rumpelstiltskin this for gold. Period. It's not that hard. So you do that, and therefore you get out of it. So keep that in mind. All right, I have to go. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll talk college. Pretty much, I gave you pretty much all the college and the pros. They're starting to get a little bit more consistent. We're waiting again this week in the pros, all these teams going East Coast. So we've got to be careful. So we're waiting for that good matchup, the Penn State matchup, where they've lost 2 in a row and they get a Northwestern. And we got it next week with Philly off of 2 in a row. And we just hope they play, Tennessee or somebody like that, or New Orleans. Give me an easy team and we'll pound it. So anyway, I got to go. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Questions, comments, email me. Titus, what are we doing today? Any Big Ten team teasers? All right. Okay, everybody. Have a great day. Watch our gold. 4,011. Keeps going. Silver 5022. It's only going higher. It is not in a bubble. It is not overbought, as they're saying, Mark McGwire. It's not overbought. It's still very, very undervalued of what it should be. So don't get fooled into selling or thinking it's overbought. That's bullshit. It is not, because it's not a stock. It has been depressed and compressed down. So anyway, keep that in mind. Keep buying it. Store it in a safe place, out of a bank, out of a safety deposit box, and just enjoy the fun. All right, www.teaserking.com. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.